Yabamu nyina hamo makwa ba de ba UTV so braso sense ma do ayensaka ya boaboa no awie no ye de eba ebeso mo se UTV ye wi abremu akankase bo na ensem ye de eba no nyumakua eso yasere no eye this way chocolate drink Ghana koko ne de aye ede aya no wanom bi your best point savings and loans and the best assurance special ice natural mineral water and drinks awodo ne kan wo bi ne omobom rechidom na mata de ni free race clothing on the pamamie sabre krona mu so na less box for ayemiti ede amamie ensem no de dimu akotini ebi and say Ghana mampanyi na nado danko akufo ado akasa de atodwa so mampanya be de echiru abawumia oyenim defo na osanse no kwafo no nti na ofa no sene frank kwani abedi echiri na yeko yanimu akane panyina no ye amrado Bank of Ghana na kese otimi kodi adanse wo ambulance case no mu wo court na so ne nipa bi e kan ho ene ekire se ensam no nyaade so mu do mbehemu ebiem yebekọ dambai a eno no ewo oti mantem nim sese adehye wono mo anu dem ekasa suso mu hiaba ne mu a efise ensuo ayiri afa won na yekọ savina mantem ni suso a aye sherry krono na sese amika sei ensu papa ye no mo no ho ayede amomo setete abaya nti omu hia mpanifo sei ebeba be ye ensuo amomo anom ensamru ebika wo do hwe ba kontem akuaje wakode magepenie a meba be so mu a agodie ensusu ewo mu ebie afi ensamru nchiremu enie Ghana yamampedu danko akufu ado akasa de atodwa kiremu se ye ka wo bi oye nimdefo na afeso ye no kofo a eye na bedi echie ye ru abawumia eno 8 no fa no se ni frank krani abedi echie wo empre enan eso wode se we nyada etodwa ebra eye association international school nkoda ekọ ne national kodi nkomo ma akoda ba ko bisa ne se Ghana fo bebrebe ade na bedi echie ru abawumia eno fa no eno mampanyi na no ebuwa ne sei.
Out of all people, did you choose Dr. Bawumia as your vice president?
I think you're aware of our country in terms of the balance, people from the south, people from the north. I think that for the unity of the country, it is good that we have a leadership where northerners and southerners are together so that the country can remain united. He's from the north, and I wanted somebody from the north to partner me for the elections and then for the governance. He's also a very clever man, and I needed his brains to help me govern the country effectively. And he's an honest person. He speaks honestly to you. He's not one of those people who you have to guess what they're trying to say. He will say what he has to say very directly. And I like that. I prefer to deal with people who are also very direct in what they say. But these are some of the reasons why I chose Dr. Bawumia to be my vice president.
Kane ningo prampram rashibedwani owura iti Mensah akankyere agu sabre no kwa muso sanso eye wosoafo ohwe emabunu ene agodie so onyamfihia aduoso enso 77 years ene okankyene guye e South Africa memebra oyare ya wokoje ayarehwe enam so amabusua komampanyi nan so akwakose na yi omampanyi na kasa ede atodwa so beye no oman ayie efise na ye oman no dia.
So we've come here this evening to officially inform you of the demise of our brother friend. If you start talking about E.T. Mensah, I think you end up writing a Bible. He has been a politician, a sportsman, and above all, a statesman. He has worked tirelessly for this country in diverse ways. First as a mayor of Accra, became deputy minister for Youth and Sports, substantive minister, minister for Works and Housing, minister for social welfare, acting minister for agriculture. He has done so many things. So this is a person that all of us feel very sad for his demise. He has taken away a wealth of knowledge that this country will forever miss, but I'm sure his legacy still goes on. So, Your Excellency, This is why we are here this evening.
This year has been a challenging year for him and his wife and his family. Right from the beginning of the year, from February onwards, he's been having these difficulties that compelled him to go down south for medical attention, etc. I've thought it necessary to make sure that the state gave him maximum support. The Chief of Staff, who handles these matters of the presidency, made sure that the visit he paid in February and the subsequent visit that he paid for the last time in September were fully supported by the state. I'm happy that that was possible. I think it would have been sad if in his moments of difficulty somehow or other this country that he had served abandoned him and said that, well, it should be a matter for his family to deal with. But that didn't happen. And I insisted that that should not happen. Including that when he died over there, the state also provided the wherewithal for those of you who went and brought his body back. All of that so that we can give him a dignified exit and a dignified burial. And I would like to make sure that that is done. A full state burial is reserved for certain categories of Ghanaians. But in order for the Ghanaian state also at any stage to be able to pay special respects to people who have been prominent in the life of the country, we give also state-assisted funerals to certain individuals. And I've also decreed that we should give a state-assisted funeral to the Honorable E.T. Mensah. Once again, what I have to say is my condolence to the widow, the children, the brothers, the sisters, members of the family, to you, Mr. Chair of the Planning Committee, members of the National Democratic Congress.
Na German Chamber of Commerce and Electoral Recycling Ghana omo ene Ghana school nkodabe edu ensia na akabomu a omo ehwe ama e-waste electronics weeks ahodo no yetimi aboaboa no akrakra no adane ani enya fasofoforo afriso.
Ewiase hwehwemu akirimu se niam ebo ye ndada dwumadie ni asetena mu ofie ebiti se TV, fridge, ayo, mobile phones, computers, blender, kettle, iron ne ekeka ho no edifi pa NS ya behwe no na ye tuagu monten so sa ye e-waste no esoro kwa na ko kirimu se ya anhwe ne ye ntua na mo a eni ewiase ko animu no hwie be 2050 no efi afibia mu ni ye edifi e-waste mu no ebehura kosoro kokogina 120 million metric tons a ebekosoro pa. Now, when I'm at Germany Chamber of Commerce, Eden Toma about electoral recycling Ghana, the annual and say, school mofra, where you are more free schools back about could do see one cryer, or do mofa quampa, e-waste, ubeti madan than yen when you be pebi, a dear from Concobas, a pay betogu montensosa. Ura Solomon Ludo, project manager, German Chamber of Commerce, Okasai.
In recent times, government's own efforts is banning some of this second-hand electrical devices, i.e., fridges, the old fridges, and I think Energy Commission and also Television Energy Commission, through several efforts, is trying to prevent some of this dumping in Ghana. But I tell you, even in the West African region, Agbogloshi, a lot of reporters say that it's been one of the biggest dumping sites for e-waste. And all of these e-waste end up in the environment once again. So when they bring the things down, and most of these things are mostly damaged, after 2 or 3 months, we dump them, and then all of this waste is there. And for us, it is important for us to actually collect these e-waste, recycle them, because it is not all bola to say, it's not all rubbish. Some can be recycled into refurbished televisions, refurbished refrigerators, and even printers and copiers for us to use once again. So the dumping, it's a problem, but it is good that we have a partner, e-waste, who is doing the sensitization about this waste in Ghana and also amongst junior high school. So we are more than happy that Electro Recycling Ghana has actually taken upon themselves to educate students and also educate parents and even Ghana as a whole about the impacts of this e-waste.
You also a sen no you janse. Ni make sure kana ye wono ye cause we use. The bin TV ne normal mrofo mfidie nkitenkite ne wo ye dem na ye toto twene no omo wo ase ombe hu se saa normal no ye nto twene na yebetumi aye ne yie ni asan ayusu se ye yie na nye yie yebetumi saa de ne pass no de adwena to ho asa de pass no aye bibi enu nti na omo wo ha ombe kan ho ama ye saa dwumadie na so omo anye saa de nso ni ansesa saa normal na ya toto go ball so na bi kopo no mu ne no ma nse battery ibu ho chemicals a ekoye ma yare yebetumi kura wu saa no yensesa na yemeki sure say mantem no aye clean na ban madachi eti for your electro recycling no dia hwe free Ghana for ho ne say wo afide bi a wo to atwene say mobile phone say TV say iron fridge bibi a wo mpe bia no ya me etumi say ye ho adwuma fabre yen and recycling electro recycling no ye no so in fact yen ko na e wo Ghana more or less afa na bi e peso be kan ho enti mo hwehwe yen na mo fa sa no mre yen na betumi e de aye adwuma
100,000 Ghana cedis eno numunyafo Kennedy akompreko Japan ede akwakoma adesyomu framantemu ayomu adoye ebra yebi akosumu damo no na ensu ayiri afawon wakasa ye no ochiremu ese nyame ye nadom no obabe yo mampanyi no befye na akomu bie biara hwe ama Volta River Authority the compensation patasika ama wona omo ho akire won.
First of all, my condolences to all of you. And when it happened, I was in the north, campaigning. But my kids are also from here, from Adidomi. So I said, oh no, I have to come. But I needed to come myself, at least see things for myself, so that in the near future, we know what to do. There are dams everywhere. Why do we always have the flood? It's a big question that we have to ask and see how best we can solve it. I don't know how other people will say that the people are stubborn when they've lost almost everything that they've acquired over the years. I think such things, it doesn't help. So I'm of the opinion that right things must be done. First, the VRA, no matter what, they have to compensate. That I promise you, I'm going to fight for you. No matter what, they have to compensate.
Honorable Ken and your entourage, we welcome you for coming. We thank you so much. And personally, I followed your philanthropic work. So when they said you were coming, I knew something good was coming as well. We thank you so much. Yeah, it's a very difficult situation we find ourselves in. Yesterday, Togbe and I and the other elders, we visited some of the camps. It's not a pleasant sight. People just uprooted from their safety and comfort and put in classrooms. No mosquito netting, no mattresses, no windows, nothing, no cooking stove or anything. They've just been left there. Then they put up a sick bay, which the president inspected. Let me just say something in between. When the president came, he was made to believe that everything was okay with us. That's why when people like you come, we like it, because you will see for yourself whether everything is okay or not. As in VRA, recently they gave a few people scholarship, but just one scholarship. And that is not compensatory enough for us. It's just not fair. I think even though the flood has destroyed, we want that through it, something good will come to us too. We've sacrificed enough. Like Togbe said, we plead with you, be our mouthpiece.
Kikali number 4 eye kuro a eno no ewo hwie electoral area wo Central Gonja Mersinim Savannah Mountain masem ena mekan na eye black and white voter no ayiri afaso anya asem keto akora efise ensuo ato na ayiri abafie aba besei enkrofo nema nenam so mo manu dem esre emwa
so no de bapa so no de mi ba wo chikra last cry nti o baby a fita no mango no ne line no o say ho no fita ka kwansi na bo kuro no kutufa no nti ho no yai park wo ho polo bi da ho no ho an polo kokko yellow bi sa ho fi ho ton and so no start sa asano de ba ye say baby a be da kura e di mai baby a be da kura e di mai
the si say ye wo ho na nsu no abafai abasai eni amanyi nyina ye dan ye bibia sei sesi abibia be da kura yenya ye tu asan aba besi edan different so no asan aba fai nti sesi a ye nim bibia be da no ye nibi ye wo valanda
bibia atina no nyina nsu afa ti mana amafo bebre o makosro ha kotna ho ye kura akakakra bi na on fire fie nti sesi a abrabo no ye dimpa ya brepa because obi o afoso pa na wanya singiro msima ni ho tisisia ni nyina akọ obi o sisia akọ soro ho no obi o wanya kura pata watina dianase tisisia ho kire papa
tisen nsuo yi be yiri kura nsuo yatina mo ache ba fi we nsuo ese yiri die anokure yenye hunu bida efrese nsuo no ayiri ya be fa kuro ni nyina edan ni nyina bubu ba bi nsuo nya nduru dampo atra ho nyum kura ye hu bi mpo da afi we nsuo aba fa kuro die aye nwanwa pa na mo sesi abrabo na duru ba bi enipa beda ontontom ewe nkwala yare obi anti aponsu ebe no mpo yenye bi ni nyina ha kuro no pa ti bebi ade na duru ndi nka ebe sere se aban ebe ya homwa na se enim se enu mu UTV fo de omode omonya tenko ade a aban de o de bebe ye adwuma ma nti we de aban ya na yesre no se omra be ya hombo na kuro no bebi eda ne de en kre ana odin ye din bohols ni nyina asese nti so ebe nom tama yare korola ne niama ne mu na etieti kuro no na ntontom sajin so no so nyina bon nti ye besra aban hombo wa se omomra embe boy
Enkuda ye hye omomo ye adwumaden anase adwuma buro mu ahoɔden no so no ɛyade bi ha adwena enkoyi eno entina so ye hwe nnwuma ne apadie so aka bomu ama embra ekon etia saade no ɔmo mu kina ɔma ye bedwam adwenkyerɛ de amaganafo
fighting child labor and forced labor.
Eti o magana mara sa abofra wonya mfinsha no edumotwe ne akire no be ye adwuma a ebeboro na ho odin so ne benya nsunsanso woni pa na pomodin ho nsem so ni saye so nti asori hwe nnwuma na padie ho nsem so edi nhyemu ahyehye so Ghana Accelerated Action Plan wode ba behwe hu ni se mofre do mo ye adwuma boro na ho odin so no wode ebetu so sa kwankyerefo da so ya no owura kizito balance ejina odumanyamfo Ignatius bafo wona mu a wode nsem se yatudwa.
Indeed, there is a strong legislative, institutional and policy framework for the elimination of child labor in the country. And I guess we all know, we can talk of the Children's Act and its regulations, the Ghana National Social Protection Policy, the school feeding program, the first 2 NPAs, and the rest of them. However, in spite of these numerous laws, regulations, and policies, programs, and projects and interventions, the Multiple Indicator Cluster Survey 2017-2018 estimated that 27.9% of children were in child labor. The latest global estimates of the ILO and UNICEF 2020 showed that in terms of prevalence, nearly 1 of 4 children in sub-Saharan Africa are in child labor. Permit me to also use this opportunity to thank all partners whose contributions in diverse ways have promoted government's decent work agenda, particularly on child labor, which is one of the violations of the 10 core fundamental principles and rights at work of the ILO. I also wish to reiterate government's commitment to continue with the implementation of measures to ensure the total development of children and the elimination of child labor in all its forms.
Opinion of the Global Accelerator Lab Project of International Labour Organization and no, Urabis Makote, when he is Taufureja Bay, opinion of the child labor unit and no Ewa Soyeho and Penifue Kasai.
A buying swadin hua one ne partners near eba boom, eba say, ya mo Friday on ye juma de ye o mo fisa jumenumna, ya mo ko school no mo be penny pa e ma mine. Inti MP no ye abaying swadin hua, or person de a yin kwala a free child labor moa or my partners ni aba together to ensure that nkwala mo child labor no mo free sati bia no mo ko school ekosua de mo mine.
Since the launch of the MPA 3, ILO has initiated 2 programs to help implement the MPA 3. The first one is the Global Accelerated Lab, which is using fishing as an entry point, which is proudly funded by the US DOR. The second one is ASEL Africa, which is also supported by the Norwegian government, which is also aimed at using cocoa and gold mine as an entry point in fighting child labor and forced labor.
Gifty akofa kwashi wano ena akofa yoga no wada ano na wakasa de atudwa achechiri mu se eye breast cancer kokrama eto nufuo mu eko editi amano emre aso se ye hwe na yetu anamone ebo ama no onya wontididimanu ntinam so amano aye checks de ama emane bia enam so amane de nsemse atudwa
na saa pomudin hwehwemu fa mekwayi a kofa yoga edehye so ebo enkramante mu efa kokrama eto emanu fumu no adehye dodo e wola boni ene ne potem eno mutimi nya emu chefa panyi kwankyerefo akofa yoga wodano ene gifti akofa kwashi okasaye ekiremu ni enti a wode ne ho ahyem ehwese de beya obetimi aboa ema afa kokrama eto emanu fumu no ose ebeboa sawo yoba abribia no obedi wo huni na afenso so no waye sa yoga exercise bi esansa wo ya eyade ebetimi amwesi pi esita na yade ahodo etese cancer ene ne yekeka ho no wetimi edisonkuni.
First na your cancer breast cancer webusuamo na otiminya. Say your lifestyle no otiminya. And those days you see after 40 nisa age way say 20 years ukwa America ukofo as young as 20 even Kumasi. Me making sure say every class be amemeye once in a month. Okay, I have breast there with lumps in it. What I say, both for Ubemiemia, 2 lamps, we examine, I teach them into me cramming chain till October. What I say. So we give people advice, at least learn how to examine yourself once in a month. Yoga, especially when you are recovering from a yarebia and a breast cancer. I've had, I mean, people with breast cancer on my area recovering, no yoga abuomo. In terms of anxiety, depression, and movement, into no yoga buapa, and yoga so encourage people to be strong and everything. It will need be crampa. You need to keep up yoga and exercise to prevent active body exercise no yoga. It can prevent you from a lot of diarrhea. What you say? And yoga ma you are aware of your body. You learn about your body. You breathe. It helps you to relax. When you are calm, now say you'll be able to identify whatever that is not supposed to be there. What you say? But so you tense crap pointy. If you can pimples now crap because say breast cancer. What you say? Yoga wow, ma we are well prepared for whatever outcome ubenya. Even in Kuala. In for drivers, market women, everyone needs yoga because your posture. Ujan says, "Ya wa back." Why you say? Oh, into your spine. We put pressure on our spine. Into no beyond money. Into yoga. And yes, yoga. You'll be able to name. Now be they sexualize the yoga. What you say? But there is a serious health benefit when it comes to yoga.
Sese die nsuyiri no asede eya age ihini ewo Ghana hase no okọ baabi etise woti mountain madamba ene ne mpotemo Volta Lake ni Oti River no eyi afaso abafie abesei enema ma adehye no ekasa.
Over Oti regional, there were 9 assemblies. Out of that 9 assemblies, there were 5 surrounded by water. The Oti River and then the Volta, Asha, Krachi West. There were Krachi West, Krachi Inchumburu, Krachi East, Nkwanta North and South. The Taman Suneba, Yenuanoma, Omo Fi, Omo Efum, Eben, Insuno. A bit say oba Krachi Isa Kodokope uko Nkwanta area the capital area rekwa teacher kope bench akra ewo nsu ano uko Nkwanta North a bit say Kambawuli na Mola number 1 and 2 area omunyina enya effect ne bi nti ama nkonfo no dodo na aye displace nanso enam say yakwaye ebusian into na bia nya ebusiafo ha omote na kitwe bi na omo asore dem nti normal ya abai de yenim konfo no nyina ya chrochro modin ya be make sure say obi ansa be de e be kana ne nsa betumi aka
but wo Volta region ankasakura no ba bi wo ho a north dai ni south dai ni afajato pando any some areas enye spillage no kura na amanaba ni mo black Volta na ayemma no ena abroso amana famwa akokan ho nyina ena savannah region wo bupe ne namangu areas okobono yeji ene sini areas ena oba ahanso a oti Nkwanta no Krachi east Krachi west Nkwanta any other places so aye flooded sa enya de ketwa okoran so ase de nipa ne nsuo no afi yenim se nsuo ato bebre eno na amasa na me yakoba nti de mpesa mekanse nye spillage no nko a ene de aba de aba ni nyina sese ye hwe aka nwasem no ba bia nye spillage ne do so che ba bia ye affected as a result of the spillage nti mesre no na ye de ne namu a ya ba na ya beduru otia na ye de niam bebre ene de ba ya ye de abra regional coordinating council MMDC was nadmo for sisi e mo chenom de akọ district bia nipa bi aye affected nipa na affecting about 3000 ye de niam ema wo mu but emu no kese na wo nkofo fie ni ade a nadmo for ne other agencies ne boa de akọ
hwe baby to say mepe baby a nso no kodu ye no abrosan kra na it was almost covered no a echese na ewo valley mu na se Ghana fo nyina sabisabio ye de amanyosem ebeto nchen na ya hwe oman no kankro ya hwe oman no development ya ewo se ye nyina ye gitumu se baby bia eho eye valley sa no ewo se yetimi emanipa no relocate na luspa for no omo na omo the mandate omo na omutimi begina mefa say area bi edi omo machines esisi ho timi ho say higher grounds move ko ho a eye esan say enya we ni first time even though especially mepe area no this is the first time akoso no years ahead of us yenim de besi ana nti mombo modern na momma ye nyina ya adwen ko benkro mu say baby bia higher valleys no nipa no be move to higher grounds.
Enkrotu awodo ewo anraga mensinim ewo framante mu no so eho aka enti nei omo so ano edam mu esu esre aban no say enema ye che omeme awodo ne yema bi enso won so efisi omo so akọ anua papa
addition is answer na tudwa wa bra goodness energy mpenfo kokọ piem ho no mo na okwakwa na ye addition ka sem na wuchim se niam mpenfo di bro mu nyina woni aso bibiri na ensuo no twetwe a dwumadi a wodi na kesi mu pai kwayo wodofo no na wo ye nsumnam sese wonfo nyina sai wonfo die nyina sai aduaban so a obedua no ni nyina ensuo edekọ ensuo mu namu ananka wo ye nso no ensuo di nyina akọ ento besire sika se ensuo no twetwe na oba befiri dwumadi asibie mu a wodi be hya ase
achia anaba miapa sukuo iha chichima anaba koshira ave ha de jomo gata yira school nana maka miapa gaza ha Iha na ina gazama alaba na tochi ashi na liepa atutu ofo asha ire gazama nana maka afoma miapo do na ha agbramala miagbo oto emieshina kakana ba shishi achi abago glota nya gatanchi otoshimo I think for no baby omo be ko hospital so afa ho ana ya fonsu ye be ko ho no so afa ho so obi yare a da fie keke ye ni di a ye be ye hospital eti ye pa mu chope omo mboaye
Odumunyanfo Gods na Bochi oni Freeman Fiagbo impinfo ye assembly members ogina wade hye na mu a wade nsem se yatudwa
the people those people around the creek near closer to the lagoon they are very much damaged their properties and the clothes they are all damaged. The health aspect according to the nurses we noticed that it has increased the number of attendants. The diseases that they report to us is diarrhea. We are expecting that the government will come to our aid then by providing us food items, clothing, and even if we can get financial support, I think it will be okay for us.
Our presence here is to extend our support to communities affected by the flood. That's why we are here. So far, we've donated some items that is valued at 350,000 cedis, about 200 bags of maize, gari, sugar, corn dough, cassava dough, and sachets of water and bags of rice. The communities have lost their livelihood. They've lost their farms. Their homes have been washed away, places of convenience. They can no longer go for fishing. I mean, the situation is actually precarious.
From the relief items, we appreciated for all those relief items coming. Though we are having this in abundance, I'm appealing to the government to come to our aid. Since we are a farming community and a fishing community, we are appealing to the government to come to our aid, give to the funds so that we can, the community can be revamped to their previous activities, so that community can be normal to their situation.
Waja dam no eno na Ghana Water Company Limited for Sony Ensio so e ho no e de mayenom e wo enkran ene mfimfiri mantem fa baabi na sesi akosombo dam no aye bie no enam so mpinifo ani aba wo ho so eno nti wono mo apa waja no mpinifo ahyase omodan no ye mark ho si e ba bedwiregu adehye de se daabi baabi omoti no mo nkansuo no ene nsuo so meka omuntu omo mpene ma ye ndwiremu
Mpinifo se hunu bipenti ena abo aserewa waje ne bagro a ne wo inani ato nche akosombo dam mpinifo abie no amankruto ahodo atwa dam no ho ahia ne de wo how kese pa na aba won so na enu nti ena Environmental Protection Agency ene Ghana Water Company Limited aye ne se wona wotete ben Waja dam no so no obeyi wo munyina de afiri ho no mo na ne asi wo fra no kine bi won so kokobie Waja dam no a ebi ansan NCB mu na waye ne se adan beye mpemienu 2000 de obeka nyina e de gufoma UTV kase bo yekobisa afiri anom se mugu ahomwa so yi mpinifo bi Waja dam no ma hoboa ene sen
Waja dam ne sa bie no te se de we even do ekoso akoso bona akoso wo Volta enu de ye wo de ka ye ho ye mobo and they say be betu akoye krom because preparation baby any ho ye be ko nkra ha baby any ho ye be ko and baby any ho so ye betima because ya gasa na fie na etima na baby eti na be issue no water land eti heaven na wo ko unni baby aka just wo betu akoye krom
dia me ma ye ne te say me pesika na me fi ho no mkra a me metina wo no bio because of last year mo senity me gwan bo say means can make sure na mabade the minute almost who da no baby a wo be post and shouldn't ko no almost price no almost down price no add because when we say ye ho chire henti ama me price no almost be a king kan me ntumi a hard down also
and am say last year no mu bi enhye na fa ye na se nyoma nti no wo bi a wo te sa bia no e wo se wudi nkan pe baby a e wo nsuo ni wo na wo tu free with them and se nsuo no abefa wo and enu nsu free ho a
saa nsuo no ye wo mo di nsuo no mu dwuma e wo so mo find ways and means nsuo no omo be bia ebi ebeba bebre kura enku nipa na ase ensaye nioma because nsuo no de bia ye bia ese nioma eku nipa etu ebubu obinum dan ne ade
afira no bi su kire mu se wona den ya ma aka na ebebu ogu no ho no won bonjo so won so kire nsemu sei
be betra 2000 meye 20 years e wo ha mo adentina mu simi dan no obia ma se stop work asase na media member sit down metra 20 years me tue water bill 20 years me tue light bill 20 years na ne me banyi ama ba pension ma be fia me ye adwuma bia na oba na obubu me dan eyin fa na me katena wo ba nsuo e fa ho e ho dan ho no mpo ye nkyere ho na here ye wo top ye create problem no esu mba bu ye dan
me say my about 20 years of my life and to know imagine those who are pensioners our why you my pension the say pensioner this more into know in some of the news there half no ye beniso ho the fetcher yako in a general crown pa ni na consume or yana kwa so say who be there that is so far away from this place into a high issue a very different altogether.
Na ye court dem ye ni muse penyina wono na wokomra shebedwomedom kuma no doma no eye Dr. Atoforce ni nipa bi e ka omo ho no ejina court dem a ye de kwadu abo muse omo amoman no aboka eye 3.37 million euro sika no emu na nankese nipa miensa kokodi adanse e wosa ensemnim baako eye kane penyini kwanchefa no oda Bank of Ghana ano eye Dr. Henry Kofi Wampa eno achi no Orua Sedu se Kotoma wono kane na oye controller ewo controller and accountant general's department na Orua Patrick Nimo kane director ewo Ministry of Health na keso omukoko kadio munim efa ensem no nanso enei ababeto dwase Accra High Court call asetina no eye lawyer wo ginemu ede ama Dr. Atoforce no ede atodwase sa enipai entimi ama court dem enti adanse yeso mba bedi anaso muntimi ni de ebre ene nkrabia ene bechere na emom no nipa bi edikan akodi omo adanse a ebi eye Owura Alex Sebefia kane penyina no ohwe apomudin eso enam so ama court sensem ni penifo etu ede ahye November day to so enkono ewo afiwe semu Okakwe abato mpehia no a eno ewo enkra semichi Okakwe South ena emu adehie bi afre sentrofo nhia mudi atodwa so ma hyebedwani ayomo akwa aba akwan awodo no a wonye bi ema won we enam so ama apehia no penyina ochrochro ewo manyoko MPP mu no wakasa di atodwa se ensem no enye nokre na yako yanim ewo kasebo no emu a na empenifo akasa de atodwa se niema ebeboa ma empuntuo ne hyehye aba no obo mo mpesua so no mo enibi entenam so ama adehia amowo sherry community no emuo no ewo Central Gonja edi atodwa se ensuo papa no omunya binom efrise niema nke ese empenifo de to akwan so emo mu enya ensuo no mayina kwa ensuo mo no mkrapo ne sebi mo ne moa enenom a enam so ama eniema mu ayede
Tembia egusu sensu yewe ya pipe na asa ya nyande na asa ya edu fie mi ansa no afi mi ansa na pipe no sa ya wanga sa wo hwe ensu ya fa so yi e fa tese nipa de se ni wanum sansu yu no kwane nya nta ya sra wom se wo assembly o diso ampio so wo di na ka besi ha wo mana wan kura ensu ma yansa no fa kana mra wan kura suye no maya wanjai ye voto ma no yene nkwala ya nkwala ni nyina ye guso bre e wansuye so we bibia ensuye ne di kan na wo ni nsuye obetumi ya adwuma
kwan na ye fa ko nsuye no ye bre oho aye peche nsuye no ye kosa be fie gise edi alom gum ansa na edi ye aduane enti esre mu be boa ye pa mu cho e kwan na ye fa na e kwan ne nye kura aye nsuye nko a entimi nko tama obeba be sensuo no kofie no na wabre aduane a obeye nsusu gise wudi alogu nsuo no asa na wudi eye aduane.
In fact, Shiri has been suffering for water problem for a very long time. And guinea worm was something that was really disturbing the people of Shiri. So the people came together and contributed some money in order to make a pipe for them so that they will save themselves from cholera and guinea worm infections. But we were using the pipe-borne water for a very long time, and we love using it. The entire community was free from all sicknesses until 2020, when it started developing some faults. Then it broke down for some time, and the people contributed again and repaired it, and it served for only 9 months. And with that 9 months, the solar panel were not generating more power again. So it's only in the afternoon that they can get water, but morning time and evening they don't get much water. So they started going back to the dam to fetch again. And in 2021, the pipe broke down again. Up to date, we don't have pipe water again. What we need to be done is for them to come and change the pump for us, because the engineer who came said the pump that is here doesn't reach the water any longer. So we beg on the NGOs, the government, and any philanthropists or stakeholders that can come to our aid and change the pump and also change our solar panels for us so that it can generate more water for us.
GridCo adwumako no ede nkrata ababonte ne wo ene no ano anyama hode no ede ema ECG ne ne keka ho no omache ede amayen omochire mu sesese no eye ahode ne omode ema no sese be kofom kakrefu se enframaja a no ye gas no mo enya no enhyeda emasa enti omunya enframaja no mutimi de batema na omode no ankania no ede komeme ahodo no enti we benam so amakania no omode maye no omobechichi mu yebebu ni toto enti dumso efa benya bi na efa dum na amomudwumedi omudi no akoso enche emerepam no mohwe siesie bibia omobesan aba besum yeye bi yejina wese so ahome abaye ba bongo difara wo the sports e ba beto aso yesrew enko ba bi e basisia